Swanson Memorial. Coming to you live from beautiful Las Vegas. Griff's Bar and Billiards. This is the 23rd annual. Format is double elimination 9-ball. Race to 8 on the winner's side, race to 7 on the loser's side. The final is going to be 1 race to 11. This is an alternate break, rack your own format using 9-foot diamond T-balls. Cue ball fouls only, and the 3-foul rule is in effect. Got Mr. Jimmy Mataya. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine, Ben.
Nice to have you here.
I see you took my seat. You put me over to the right where I used to be on the left. I was thinking, you know, these left-handed players are so good. Maybe I should sit on the left side of the booth. But you stole my seat, you rascal.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry.
Now I got to try to do commentary from the right-hand side. All right, I got to switch hands with this microphone. We are rocking and rolling here at the Jay Swanson 23rd Annual Memorial Tournament.
Looks like we've got Vica Luli versus Shane Holmquist. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. Not familiar with either gentleman.
No, I've never seen either one of these players play, so this is news to me. Is my mic on okay? Do you hear me over there? They switched me to the right-hand side here.
Oh, that was a great break.
Yeah, I can tell you one thing. This guy knows how to break the balls. Now, is this Luli? Are we pronouncing that right? Luli?
I'm not sure.
Or is this Holmquist? Both of these players are new to me. Who is shooting right now, Ben?
This is Holmquist.
All right. We are rocking now. We got Willie Holmquist against Willie Luli. Now, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not, but you're playing in the Jay Swanson Memorial. Obviously, everybody you see playing in this tournament is a very, very good player, okay? That goes without saying.
I haven't seen him before, but I already like his approach and his demeanor.
Yeah, he looks very confident.
He does.
He looks like he's a pretty quick player as well, too.
That one rubbed its feet on the way in.
Now I'm wondering by his last name, Holmquist, is this a European player, Ben? Do you know?
I don't know. I wish I had a little more info about the gentleman. Let's see what he tried to do there, but it's going to take a good stroke to get back on the right side of this 7-ball from here.
Yeah, this is not going to be an easy shot.
Are you going to be at the Andy Mercer event again this year?
Absolutely,
All right.
absolutely. I mean, you talk about some great memorial tournaments like we have here with the Jay Swanson. Same thing over at the Rum Runner when it comes time for the Andy Mercer Memorial.
Boy, how about that shot?
Yeah, that was pretty sporty.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was.
he parked that snowball.
Both these guys clearly have some firepower.
Well, I can see right away here we got another left-handed player. I've never seen a bad left-handed player in my life.
They all seem to play well.
Yeah, I'm wondering when they're going to start barring these left-handed players. It's not fair. It's not fair. I ain't kidding you. I've never seen a bad left-handed player. Jay Swanson was a lefty. We mentioned earlier the loss of Ed Kelly, who was another fantastic left-handed player. And look at this, boy, the ball, boy, these are tight pockets, Ben, I can tell you that. You know?
Yeah, this feature table has 4 1/4-inch pockets.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Luli, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Luli. Anyway, he is not happy camper of the missing the 9-ball that he just missed. He's slamming the balls down on the table right now. He is a little bit upset that he gave that first game away. So 1-0, Mr. Holmquist.
We are coming to you live from Griff's here in beautiful Las Vegas. I want to give a shout out to Mark Griffin and Gary Lutman for helping put this together, amongst many others. But at the moment, we're just going to address and thank Griff's in particular. They are the official host of the Jay Swanson Memorial 9-ball tournament. And that's where we are coming to you live from.
I still want to know, Amy, where is Mr. Holmquist from, and where is Mr. Lee? Where is he from? We have to find that out. Which one's from San Diego?
Well, Shane is from Temecula, California.
Oh.
Shane Holmquist.
Okay, from California. I thought he might have been a European player. And Iuli is from San Diego. Is that right, Amy?
That's what somebody just said.
I'm seeing Oregon here.
Yeah, that's what somebody said it on the chat.
Oh, okay.
Oregon. Well, I'm not pronouncing that right either. I got toasted for that the last time I did. It's not Oregon, it's Oregon. Okay? Boy, they toasted me about that the last time I did commentary here. What do you mean, Oregon? It's Oregon, man. Okay, I got it straight.
I was flipping through I like to go through a lot of old YouTube pool videos, some of the old timers. And just actually a few nights ago stumbled across a match with you and Mr. Johnny Archer.
Uh-huh. My good friend Johnny Archer.
And if I remember, I mean, I watched a few matches that night, but I think you pulled that one out 9-7, 9-6, something like that.
No, I'll tell you what, they asked me about that match. I had just got done beating Mike Siegel. And they were interviewing me after the match, and they said to me, well, you know, you play Johnny Archer next, race to 11, of course. And they asked me, they said, how do you think you'll do against Johnny Archer? And I said, I will knock him out in the 6th. Well, meanwhile, he had me 6-4, and I beat him 7 in a row. Called it right on the number. My good friend Johnny, tremendous player he is. Hall of Famer, and rightfully so.
I got to meet Johnny. I've only met him on one occasion.
Very nice guy.
I picked him and his wife Melanie up from the airport 2 years ago for the 50th anniversary of the BCA Hall of Fame when they were inducting Darren Appleton and Tom Rossman. Mm-hmm. The Hall of Fame committee flew, since it was the 50th anniversary, they flew out a bunch of living Hall of Famers that were still around. Well, obviously Johnny's one of them. So they coordinated it so all their flights came in on the same day, different times, but there was about 15 or 20 different ex-pro, you know, Alan Hopkins, Archer, Rempe, Terry Bell, a bunch of the old timers, and it was a dream because I was asked if I would be willing to give up a Sunday to pick all these people up from the airport and take them to their destination. So it was a really cool opportunity for me about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. Got to meet Johnny, kind of hang out with them for a little bit. Got to do a little shopping with Jeanette Lee. That was fun.
Mm-hmm. The Black Widow.
Yes, sir.
I believe Johnny Archer came originally from Marietta, Georgia. Marietta, Georgia. And I'll tell you who else, famous person, came from Marietta, Georgia. Do you remember Virginia Hill?
No.
Does that ring a bell?
It doesn't.
It was Bugsy Siegel's squeeze, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Virginia Hill came from Marietta, Georgia. Unbelievable.
Did not know that.
Oh, well, you know it now. Ask me anything you want about pool. I'll give you an answer. Whether it's right or wrong, I'll give it to you. Don't worry about it. Nice jump shot there to get a hit on the 2-ball.
Well, that leads me to my next question. What's your opinion on the jump stick?
Well, I want to tell you something, and it's my own honest opinion. You know, I think jump cues are great for doing trick shots and, you know, things of that nature. If you're putting on an exhibition, it's like, hey, watch what I can do with this little twig. You know, and it's pretty cool. I got to admit that. But on the other hand, when you're playing with jump cues, a player can make a spectacular defensive shot, and in return he gets punished for it because of the jump cue. And I just don't agree with taking away great defensive shots. And the next thing you know, the guy hops over the ball with the greatest of ease. It's not difficult to hop over the ball with a jump cue. I can teach a 12-year-old kid how to do it in 2 minutes. And for me to see someone play fantastic defense and be punished for it at the same time, I just don't agree with that myself. I think it's good for trick shots and things of that nature, but to have the best players in the world playing with jump cues, I don't agree with that at all.
Fair enough.
Now, needless to say, the cue makers out there will never vote for me for the Hall of Fame, and I understand that, but nevertheless, I got to call it the way I see it.
Shane's got a 2-5 combo here. Takes care of it pretty nicely.
Nice shot, good position. He's in perfect shape right now, has an excellent opportunity to win this game, but that's easier said than done. You never miss a ball from the booth up here, Ben. Up here we run hundreds, we run thousands.
I'm batting 1,000, baby.
That's right. We never miss a ball from up top. Little different story when you're down there under the ring of fire. And look out here. And there you go. Now you know what I'm talking about. Things are a little bit different down there.
Burning ring of fire.
That's right. This game of pool, I'm going to tell you, you talk about one of the greatest games that God ever created. That was a pool table. Boy, if you're fortunate enough to have a pool table in your house, you can have decades and decades of fun with your family and friends. Oh, you got to change the cloth every once in a while, big deal. But boy, to have a pool table, you're just going to have endless hours of a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to play pool. And all the things that you can learn about the game, it's just, it's a never-ending learning experience, the game of pocket billiards. Undoubtedly, the most difficult of all non-physical sports is the game of pocket billiards.
You won't catch an argument from me there.
I've been around this sport for 60 years, and I mean to tell you, I don't know half what there is to know. I don't know 1/10 what there is to know. That's just how much you can learn playing pool. You never stop learning playing this game because you're forever finding yourself in situations where you don't know what to do. You find yourself improvising so much in this game. I've often said you cannot program a robot to play pool for the simple reason you don't have all the information to give it.
I like that.
Well, there's just too many obstacles on the table for you to overcome. You're going to find yourself shooting shots that you've never been in that particular situation before. And that's what makes the game so interesting.
See, I think if I was in that position
well,
now,
this is a perfect situation right here. Now, which way do you go? High, low, left, fast? You want to play offense? You want to play defense? You have to start improvising.
Personally, in this position, I like thinning the 6 and leaving it on the rail and using the 7 as a blocker.
That's right. Just put your cue ball on the end rail. Let your opponent go from there. He's going to try to bank this ball.
No, I think he's going with that safe. Looks like he's shooting away from it.
Oh, he's going to try to. I thought he was going to try to bank it. Nice shot here. Very nice shot. It's a makeable shot, but a very, very difficult shot. Getting position for the 7, that's another story. There's a million stories in the Naked City, Ben. This is just one of them right now, I mean to tell you.
I know you got a lot of those stories, too. I like hearing them. Your commentary last year during the finals of the Mercer event was classic.
Well, I can't make a ball in the ocean anymore, but at least I can still talk, okay? This is going to be a very tough shot here, very tough shot. Not only that, you got to worry about the scratch going cross sides.
Is he banking this? No.
And there was what I told you, worry about the cue ball going cross sides.
You called it, sir.
Well, I know because I did it about 3,000 times, okay? I'm hip to this shot. Warning, warning, you know.
Red flags and bells going off.
Okay, no problem here. I can get out from here. Okay. We have a 1-1 game with Mr. Luli, is that it?
I-U-L-I. That's Iuli, I believe.
You got Jimmy Moore over here in back of me showing me a picture of his father, Hall of Famer Cowboy Jimmy Moore. He's coming over to show me a picture. I thought he was going to loan me $100. I know what Cowboy Jimmy Moore looks like. Don't worry about it, my friend.
July 17th.
I've seen them all. I've played them all.
July 17th through the 20th, we've got the new Las Vegas Open, sponsored by CueSports International and Predator Cues. That's going to be held at the Rio Hotel and Casino July 17th through the 20th. It's all played on 9-foot tables during the BCA and USAPL championships. It's going to be just before the World 10-Ball Predator Championships. It's limited to 128 players. For more info, check world10ball.com.
Another nice break there by Holmquist. He hits the balls very good on the opening break.
He does.
You know, it may seem like the biggest no-brainer shot in pool, the break, but in playing 9-ball,
it's probably the most
very important shot. To have a powerful break is a nice advantage to have.
The break and the shot immediately following the break, in my opinion, are the two most important shots, at least probably in any game of pool. You would think the shot after the break kind of determines who has the ability to hold control of the table. You know, if you've got a good second shot, you can run out or at least hold control. I've got a pretty good break, but after that, it's blah.
I never was a very good break. I mean, I had an average break. That's about it. But I've played against a lot of champion players that just had an awesome break. Guys like you just mentioned, Johnny Archer had a very powerful break. Guys like Earl Strickland and Nick Varner. Boy, there's a lot of guys today that just really break the balls. I mean, unbelievable. The break really wasn't that much of a factor when you talk about 9-ball back in let's say in the 1960s. You didn't see very many players who had a very real powerful break like you see today.
Give me just 1 second. I'm going to move this rack.
You might have a possible 1-9 combination here. I don't know. It's close. Close, but I don't believe he can make this ball. Close is not good enough. I don't believe he can make this combination. It's aimed towards the rail.
Yeah, I don't even think it throws in. It may. We're getting the tournament director to come over and move the rack. What's your opinion on the Magic rack?
Boy, you're trying to get me fired. You're trying to get me fired. Yeah, well, it might work. Now you want my opinion on the Magic rack? I'm going to give it to you. I think the man who invented this Magic rack, I commend him, but in my opinion, it just does not work. And the reason I say that is because I have seen balls roll across the Magic rack more than once,
Change
and the
direction.
ball would make a semi U-turn. Now, for my money, I want to know what something's doing on the table that's going to cause a ball to make a U-turn. To me, that it just does not belong there. Now, for people that just want to play at home and have fun, hey, get yourself a magic rack. It's an easy way to rack the balls. I commend the guy who invented this. But when I see a ball make a U-turn, I'm going to tell you about it. I do not agree with that. You know, it doesn't belong on the table. Obviously, this will be the end of my commentary. The people from the Magic Rack will get rid of me and fire me. I know that. I'll be working at Dunkin' Donuts from now on. But nevertheless, that's my opinion about the Magic Rack. It was a good idea, a great idea, but when you got a ball making a U-turn, I got to say something about it, because to me that's just not pool. Just like when you talked about the jump cue. Oh, he did make this nice. That was a nice shot there. I didn't think he could make that shot. So, anyway, what's the difference? Listen, I'm doing life with no parole. And, you know, it doesn't matter what I say or what I do, because I'm not going anywhere anyway, okay? Except maybe back to jail one day. The Magic Rack, nice idea, but I don't agree with it. Jump cues, great for exhibition play and to show somebody a trick shot or something. Absolutely, that's okay. But in world-class competition, I have to disagree with it.
July 17th through the 27th. I just want to touch on this real quick. We've got the BC APL World Championships at the Rio Hotel and Casino here in Las Vegas. 5,000 plus league members, over 700 mini tournaments, more than 300 diamond tables, 40 plus divisions for all skill levels, and more than 40 vendors selling cues, clothing, and everything in between. So please come check us out at the Rio. That is July 17th through the 27th. And that'll be right alongside the USAPL Nationals.
Well, I tell you, they got a lot of tournaments coming up. Unbelievable.
There is a lot coming up, sir.
That's the difference between pool today and pool back in the, shall we say, the 1960s and in the 1970s. We didn't have the opportunity to play in all these events that they have today. Back in the days, in the 60s and the 70s, you had maybe 4 major events during the year, and that was it, 4 at the most. Of course, you had other tournaments, and you always had world-class players there, but they weren't big money events. You know, they weren't world championship type tournaments. Today, you have probably 20 times as many tournaments as we had back in the 60s and the 70s. Pool has really taken off. It's such a popular sport all over the world now. And back in the day, for decades upon decades, the best players in the world, obviously, were the Americans. Not so anymore, amigo. We got invaded by the Asian players, the European players, and what a magnificent game they play.
Oh, my gosh.
And anymore, if you ask me, the Americans are at the bottom of the list. To me, the Asian players, the European players are the best players in the world today. But I will give special congratulations to Team USA, who finally knocked off, you know, the Europeans in the Moscone Cup.
We brought that cup back over the pond.
Yeah, that's right. Bring it back where it belongs. I've been trying to get a job for the last 3 years to coach the Americans in the Moscone Cup, but they have denied me that right. And I can only say this in my most humble opinion. It's an act of cowardness as far as I'm concerned. If you're that afraid of the Floyd, just say so. You got a guy out there coaching Team America, a guy from Russia. Now, I don't get it. You're going to have to explain that to me. You know, when the golfers go over there for the Ryder Cup, you don't have a guy from Montana coaching the Europeans, okay? I mean, that just wouldn't be the Ryder Cup. So I don't understand the Moscone Cup to have a coach from Europe. I don't get it. I have put my resume in 3 years ago to coach the Team USA and guaranteed that I would bring the Moscone Cup back to where it belongs. Well, here comes this guy from Russia. Now, what's my chances of getting the job when they come back here in December? You think they're going to give me the job? I mean, this guy just coached Team USA to a victory, so obviously he's in, and I am out again. Okay? But that's okay as long as we win. I'll accept that. We have the Moscone Cup, and there.
We got it back. Let's keep it.
Yeah, they have such great players from Europe. I mean, I commend those guys. They're marvelous players.
So Holmquist with a unfortunate, uncharacteristic miss in the side pocket there.
I know.
Let's see if Mr. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Iuli, I-U-L-I.
I'll tell you what, we're going to make it
Cleaned
real
it up.
easy how to pronounce. We're just going to call him Louie, okay? This is Louie from now on, until we learn how to pronounce his name. Now, he's from San Diego, I take it, right? Is that what they said?
I thought they said he was from Oregon. I'll go back here and check here in a moment. Or, yeah, actually, I think they did say San Diego.
San Diego? Well, I'm going to tell you what, over the years, I have seen some magnificent 9-ball players, and I'm talking about from up and down the coast of California. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the great players that have come out of California. Naturally, we have Jay Swanson from San Diego, but you move up just a little bit up the coast of Los Angeles, Ben. We got some players up there, some Hispanic players that are just marvelous. You're talking about Ernesto Dominguez and Oscar Dominguez, and how about Moro, Ismael Paez. Oh man, and King Kong, and then
Bernardo Chavez.
Oh man, they have some fantastic Mexican players. I mean, they can play that 9-ball, Jack. Not to mention we had guys like Richie Florence and the late great Ronnie Allen, who spent most of his life in California. Then we go up the coast some more. My good friend, my brother, talking about Cole Dixon. You talk about a gunslinger, Cole Dixon. And then right there at Modesto, Cole came from Oakland. Then you got Modesto, California, Kim Davenport, just recently put in the Pocket Billiard Hall of Fame. Magnificent 9-ball player. Go over there to San Francisco, across the bay, over there Alcatraz Island. My longtime paisano, Tony Annagoni.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he couldn't play. I mean, California has had just some marvelous 9-ball players. I'm hoping that one day soon here in Las Vegas that we can have the Cole Dixon Memorial. That would really be an honor for me to talk about Cole Dixon. He was one of my great friends, and he was just like a brother to me. That's all. That's how much I love that guy. And boy, could he gunsling it, Cole Dixon.
Yeah, isn't his memorial is in California?
Yeah,
correct?
I believe it was maybe Sacramento, perhaps, that I heard that they had one there. I don't know how long they've been doing the Cole Dixon Memorial. This is the 23rd annual Jay Swanson Memorial. But Jay passed away a long time ago, 1996. It wasn't that awfully long ago that my friend Cole passed away a few years or so ago. So I was happy to hear that they're having Cole Dixon Memorial.
I never met him, but I've heard nothing but good things about him.
Oh boy, he was a gunslinger, I want to tell you. He didn't fear nobody. And boy, when he got rocking and rolling, well, he was just like Jay Swanson. When those guys got rocking, I mean, they just play that 9-ball like Johnny B. Good, I mean to tell you.
Watched a match between Fats and Moscone the other night that had me cracking up.
What was that, on the Comedy Hour? Fats and Willie McAtones?
Yeah, they were playing 5 different disciplines.
Playing what?
5 different disciplines, 5 different games. I didn't watch the entire match, but it was like 9-ball, race to 5 the first match, or first best out of 9, so a race to 5. And then it was 8-ball in the second match, and then it was some other form of a game that I had never even seen or heard of before. But it was just really funny because prior to the match, Willie wanted to go over the rules with Fats, make sure they were on the same page. Fats agreed, whatever you want, whatever rules, don't even tell me, I don't care. So then as soon as they start playing, these rules start coming into question. Fats is over, oh, this isn't pool. You know, they're just kind of bantering back and forth, but it just kind of, it was fun to watch the absolute contrast in styles of both play and demeanor between the two of them. Fats was running his mouth the whole time and talking trash with the crowd, and you got Mosconi over here asking him to please be quiet while he's at the table. Oh, sorry, sweetheart, go take your shot. You know.
Yeah, I know.
Entertaining to watch, but
yeah, Fats was a great entertainer. He made people laugh, and strangely enough, most of the world thought that Minnesota Fats was the greatest player in the world. Well, I beg your pardon. He was an entertainer, that's for sure. But no, he was never on the level of a Mosconi.
Do want to give a quick shout out to John Barton and JB Cases, the official case of CueSports International. Visit jbcases.com and have your custom case made. Remember, protection matters, folks. Use protection. Protect your cues. John's also got a really cool design tool on his website. If you go to jbcases.com, you can preview and design your own case in almost unlimited ways. So it's a really, really cool tool. Check it out.
You got to have a good, tough case, and I'll tell you why. Many years ago in the World's Championships of straight pool, my old-time friend from New York, Johnny Irvolino, was playing Joe Russo from New Jersey. And Russo won the match. And when Russo went to shake Johnny's hand, Johnny hit him in the head with the cue case, okay? So you got to have a tough cue case, all right? I mean, he whacked the guy right in the head. Who says pool can't be tough? Who says pool can't be physical? I mean, sometimes you got to be in shape, and I mean to tell you.
Oh, I knew we were going to get some good stories with you, Jimmy.
Well, when I tell you something's a fact, it's a fact. If I just merely want to give you my own opinion, it doesn't mean that I'm right. It's just my opinion. But if I tell you something is something, take it to the bank, okay?
Meanwhile, Mr. Ayuli, Lulu.
We call him Louie Louie. Okay?
Louie.
That's right. Speaking of Louie, talking about another great friend of mine who passed away, Louie Roberts, St. Louis. Boy, I want to tell you, when he got smoking that ball around the table, I mean, he was something to watch.
Mike Massey played him in Pool Hall Junkies, I do believe.
I never saw that movie, Pool Hall Junkies.
No?
No?
Better not tell Cotton that.
I never saw the movie. I know they had some great stars in that movie.
Yeah, who was in that?
Christopher
Walken, Chaz Palminteri, Mars Callahan.
I think maybe Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken was.
Okay, I heard about some of the guys that were in that movie, but I never saw the movie.
Kind of a lower budget film, but a good pool film, a good movie.
Well, no question, the greatest movie on pool there ever was The Hustler with Paul Newman.
Well, if you ask Fats, that's about him, isn't it?
Well, I'm going to tell you something about Fats, okay? I worked with Minnesota Fats for a couple of years. We were under same management back in the 70s. Fats got his name off the movie. Fats is from New York, okay? I don't think he's ever been in Minnesota in his life, okay? So he tried to sue the movie industry, and bada boom, bada bing, you're doing a story on my life. Well, you know, he became Minnesota Fats. They used to call him New York Fats, okay? And he was a good con man, good hustler, a decent player, you know. But they had him as the Minnesota Fats, the best player in the world, and that's the reason you saw that kind of stuff on TV with Mosconi, you know, because Fats really was not that good of a player, you know. I mean, he was a good player, don't get me wrong, but he was not a world champion level. Okay?
He was better in his head than he...
Well, he was good at cracking jokes, okay? I mean, he was a great entertainer. People loved to listen to him. He was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But competition-wise, no, there was no way he could compete with the top players in the world. Not going to happen, okay?
Be fun to hear him and Earl go back and forth.
Yeah, well, to listen to Fats go back and forth with anybody was fun. He was a funny guy, no question about it.
I wish I could have been around in the pool era before cell phones and before internet, before all it took was a quick text message to find out who you're playing and everything about them. I wish I grew up in the era when there wasn't any of those luxuries, or whatever you want to call them.
I started playing pool in 1958, and back in those days, the balls were made out of clay, whereas you have these fancy plastics today and everything. The balls were made out of clay. The pockets were leather pockets. To turn on the light, you'd have to pull a string over the table, you know.
The clicking lights.
Spittoons all over the floor, and you know, that's the old days of pool. The game has changed tremendously, the equipment and the rules. And there's another thing that I don't agree with. You cannot name me one sport that in the past 30 years has had more rule changes than pocket billiards. And what all these rule changes are about is beyond me. It's getting to a point where every time you go to a tournament, you got to ask people, what's the rules? Well, I think if you go to a bowling alley, you know what the rules are. If you go to the golf course, you know what the rules are. But the way they have changed the rules around, I mean, it's just unbelievable, and I don't think it's necessary. I don't quite get it anymore. I mean, I realize how things change as decades go by. I mean, you know, fashion changes, music changes, you know, everything changes. But there has been so many changes in the sport of pocket billiards that I just don't think it's necessary.
I like that take. I've seen some changes myself, but there are some of the old forms of, you know, with the two-shot push, and there's other forms of 9-ball and pool that I've never even seen in person or played myself, and that's just a testament to what you were just saying about how it's just constantly changing.
Yep.
You know, I've played the game for 20 years, and there are certain games that I've never seen or heard of.
Right.
And like you said, there's so many changes, it's almost become too much. Like you said, you have to ask or read a form to tell you what the exact format is.
Well, same with this tournament here. You're playing a 3-foul rule. All right, that's unusual. You don't see that very often. 3-foul rule. That's an old-time rule. But in today's tournaments, you very seldom see 3 fouls as loss of game.
Oh, he hit that much harder than he needed to.
Yeah, that was
about 4 feet too hard.
A very bad shot. Let's be honest about it. Very bad mistake there. But he's still at the table.
Let's see if he can recover. Banked it short.
Can he slop it in? It's going to be close, but no cigar. And I'll tell you another thing they've taken away from pool, and I don't understand it, you know. I really don't. When is the last time at a pool tournament, when's the last time you've seen somebody shoot a spot shot? Spot shot doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And now let me tell you something. I've seen a lot of matches won or lost with a spot shot, okay? And not to take that shot away, the oldest shot there is in pool, the spot shot, and to take away the excitement of it, you know, the excitement of it. I mean, the match is on the line. You got to shoot a spot shot on the 8. You know, the guy made the 8 and scratched, ball in hand behind the line, okay?
And anything behind the line spotted up, right?
You've got to spot it up. I've seen a lot of matches won or lost because of a spot shot. Now, why would you want to take that shot out of the game? I don't understand it, you know. I mean, there's a lot of things I just don't understand. And I've only can come to the one conclusion. I don't know anything about pools. I mean, what do I know? I'm a dumbbell, okay? I mean, where are you coming from?
I want to give a quick thank you to Simona's Cloth. Visit www.simona'scloth.com. Find out why they're the official cloth of CueSports International. Big shout out to them, and thank you very much for their support with this event and future events. The beautiful blue cloth on this table happens to be Simona's as well.
Now one thing I do agree with. The Simonis cloth, it's the best cloth that there is for pocket billiards, no question about it. It's the most expensive cloth, I believe, but
You get what
it's
you pay for.
the best cloth.
I think that's one of those you get what you pay for things. If you want to skimp a little bit, you're going to get a little less quality.
Yeah, there's no question the Simonis cloth is a great cloth. But also on the other hand, with the Simonis cloth, and I've noticed this a long, long time ago, it's much easier for a good player to move his cue ball around on Simonis cloth as compared to other cloths. Much easier to move the cue ball around because the English grabs so much. You know, it's basically a billiard cloth, a 3-cushion billiard cloth is really what it is. You can move that cue ball around with English with not much problem. You couldn't do that years ago with the cloths that we used to play on years ago, like a Mallee cloth, for instance.
Shag carpet.
You could not do anything on that cloth like you can on a Simonis cloth. So actually, it's an advantage for a good player, the Simonis cloth compared to the old cloths of the olden days. But yeah, it's definitely a very nice cloth. I like the Simonis cloth. We got Louis here with a 5-2 lead over Holmquist. And it looks like, is this the jump cue? This is the jump cue.
Went for the jump cross bank.
Now, see, there's a perfect example of what I was trying to tell you. You pull out the jump cue, takes no talent to use it. You slop a ball, a guy plays a good safety on you, hooks you, whatever, you slop a ball in, and you end up winning sometimes the match because of it. So a guy can play a defensive shot and get punished. I don't agree with that.
He might be pulling that jump cue back out second time.
Yeah, well.
He's lining up a kick, but if he jumped the last one, why not jump?
I don't know if he's going to try to play the billiard 3 into the 5, or is he just going to try to jump this ball? One would think he's going to try to jump it.
Well, he put his jump cue down and went back and picked up his playing cue. So
all right, you know, he's going to try to kick perhaps the 3 into the 5 ball here. He had a very nice shot.
a little full.
It was a good try, good try. Looks like a two-way shot. Try to bank the 3 down there in a back pocket. Slide your cue ball over at the same time. Try to trickle that 5 in, but be careful that you don't scratch. He's not going to do that. He's going to play defense. He's not going to gamble. This guy's not a gambler.
He's in the wrong
town. He's not a gambler. This guy plays the odds. Got to look out for this guy. Now. Here we go.
Jump cue.
Now here goes. See, here's the jump cue. Guy makes a fantastic defensive shot. It's going to do him no good because Mr. Holmquist here will have no problem hitting this ball, and there's a good possibility that he's going to make this shot. Okay, he's not a real big underdog to make this shot.
I think the flip side of the jump cue argument. And I completely understand and agree with what you're saying. You know, play a good safety, and then all of a sudden your partner pulls out one of these and does what they do.
See, he had no problem hitting that ball.
The flip side of that would be play a better safety. Freeze me tighter to a ball so I can't jump.
Oh, you're telling me you want me to cement the ball to the other ball?
I'm
Is
just
that what you're saying?
I'm just looking at I'm just looking at the other side of the argument.
You keep your observations to yourself, Ben. Okay. This is
Yes,
pool.
sir.
This is pool, mister. I did not like the position there. He's left himself a tricky little shot on the 4 ball here. You know, he's got the 5 ball hanging in the jaws, so he had very easy position here for the 4. He's made it a little bit of a difficult shot. Okay.
Good
All right.
recovery. He wins this, it'll put him on the hill.
No, he'll have 6 games on the hill. We go to 8 games here, Ben. Let's wake up, okay? We go to 8 games.
Mr. Mataya, this is a backside match.
Oh.
It even says 7.
Floyd, you better wake up, Floyd. Okay, let's get it together, Floyd. I mean, come on. What is going on around here? We're having fun, I can tell you that, here at the Jay Swanson Memorial. We are not here to mourn the loss of Jay Swanson. We are here to celebrate his life. What a guy he was. Talk about a gentleman and a fantastic player, Jay Swanson. He died way too early in his life, age 52. And it's just a shame to lose a guy like that. You know, it's just, it's a shame.
I heard he was a really, really nice man.
Yeah. Never said a word. Total gentleman. Well, he opened the door, but he might have got lucky here. He might have got a little bit lucky here. Now, this is a debatable shot. You want to try to bank this, Ben, or you want to try to cut it in?
I think that might be just a little too steep for me to cut. I love cutting balls, too. So I'm either banking that straight back into this bottom left corner pocket.
It's not a bad idea because you can park that cue ball right on the end rail, and even if you miss, you're gonna leave your opponent a difficult shot if he can leave the cue ball on the end rail.
And there is enough room between the 9 and the rail for the cue ball to get out of the way in time. It looks like he's finning this. I don't know what he was trying to do there.
I think he was trying to just bump it up the rail and just play a safety, and it just didn't turn out well for him. He hit it too thin. These are the difficulties of pool. You can take what seems to be the easiest of shots, and then the next thing you know, you made a bad mistake. Pool is such a tough game. Well, Louis is now on the hill, Ben. We're going to 7, okay? You got that straight?
Got it, sir.
All right. We are rumbling here at Griff's. I'm telling you. We got money games going on. We got tournaments. We got leagues. We got people playing 50, 60 million a game around here.
Whoa. July 17th through the 27th at the Rio Hotel and Casino, we've got the U.S. APL National Championships. 600-plus league players, over 700 mini tournaments, 300-plus diamond pool tables, over 40 vendors. Please visit playcsipool.com/events for more information. Shane's going to tear apart rack number 9 here. I bet that 5 ball goes. Did. And the 7. It's got a powerful break.
Sure does. I neglected to add one of my old-time partners and good friends who came out of Southern California, 9-ball player. They called him the Earthquake, Keith McCready, guy that played Grady Seasons in the movie The Color of Money.
Color of Money, yeah.
Oh, yeah, another gunslinger from California.
He just got into the Hall of Fame not too long ago, too, for a lifetime of action, I believe.
Action Hall of Fame. They put him in there last year. Talking about Keith McCready, the Earthquake, a.k.a. Grady Seasons from The Color of Money.
It was a lot of fun to watch him play.
Oh, yeah.
With that sidearm.
Yep. He had that sidearm stroke, very unusual stroke.
Nothing you would ever teach, but...
No, you'd never see another player that had a stroke like that, really, unless you want to go back about the 1920s with Ralph Greenleaf and people like that. I played Greenleaf in 1915. He was a tremendous player.
What?
I say I played Greenleaf in 1915. He was a tremendous player.
I thought that's what you said.
Yeah. You believe anything, don't you?
I said.
I mean, really, you believe anything, don't you?
I didn't say I believed it. I said what? Because I thought I misheard you when you said 1915. Jimmy, you don't look 100 plus.
Hey, they call me pretty old boy, Floyd. Okay.
Where did that name come from?
Well, it all started with the videos we did back in the 1980s. And I was doing videos with Mike Segal, Jimmy Rempe, and Larry Lascotti. and they all had nicknames, okay? So when it came time to putting together the jacket for the video, they wanted, they said, well, what's your nickname? And I said, I don't have a nickname. They just call me Mataya. And they said, well, we want to have you have a nickname. I said, well, I don't have one. And, well, we got to have a nickname. And I said, well, I don't know. When I worked with Fats, he used to call me Pretty Boy Floyd. And they said, that's it. It took 1 second. They said, that's it. And that's how Pretty Boy Floyd came alive.
So it kind of derived from Fats.
Well, yeah, Fats used to call me that, but they just insisted that I have a nickname, and that's how that all happened.
How cool is that? A little bit of connect the dots here. I think Shane should be able to handle this.
He better do something. Louis is on the hill here, and Holmquist needs 5 games. Well, he has an excellent chance to win one of those games right now. It's not over. Trust me, it is never over. It's like the old-time great Yogi Berra used to say, it's not over till it's over. You know who Yogi Berra is, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'm beginning to wonder about you, Ben. Okay. You like this game of pool, Ben?
I love this game.
You like?
My grandfather got me into this game.
You like to gamble, Ben? You like to bet money on pool games?
I do. I do.
No question, it is a gambling game. It is a tournament game. I mean, it's just like poker. You can have your tournaments, you can have your money games, and that's what pool is. Oh, no, I do not. You know, this guy, when he first started playing the match, I thought to myself, this guy's a gunslinger. But you know what? He has missed some shots that I just don't understand, and I'm sure he doesn't either. I mean, I'm sure he's a little bit upset that he just missed that ball. I mean, he's too good a player for that to happen. And there we have it. Louis wins the match.
I don't think
7-2.
He went back for his break cue. I don't think he realizes that it was a race to 7.
Is it over? Is the match over?
Now they know.
This
now
had to be a match on the loser's side to be going to 7.
Yes, Mr. Iuli wins by a scoreline of 7-2 over Shane Holmquist.
Uh-huh.
We're going to have our next match starting here in about 5 minutes or so. Just want to give another real quick last thank you to Simonis Cloth, JB Cases, Discount Custom Apparel, Predator Cues, and Griff's Billiards here in Las Vegas. We will be back shortly.